Beneath American soil lies a vast network of reinforced spaces, constructed for a catastrophic future the public is never meant to witness. Nature abhors a vacuum, and for decades, people have filled the silence surrounding these spaces with folklore. Denver International Airport is a frequent target, plagued by persistent internet rumors of Illuminati bunkers and secret society headquarters hidden deep under the baggage claims. In New Mexico, similar legends surround Dulce Base. Locals share accounts of secret nuclear-powered tunneling machines melting through rock, and even describe underground firefights between military contractors and non-human entities. These colorful science fiction narratives often dominate the conversation. While the public debates lizard people and alien treaties, the multi-billion-dollar reality of the government's actual subterranean infrastructure remains largely ignored. In the 1950s, the imminent threat of a Soviet nuclear strike forced the United States to plan for total annihilation. Civil defense drills trained children to hide under their desks, a meager, largely psychological defense against a weapon that could vaporize an entire city in seconds. Recognizing that no civil defense program could protect the broader population from thermonuclear war, President Dwight D. Eisenhower authorized a highly classified shadow protocol, Continuity of Government, or COG. This directive required a massive reallocation of federal resources. The strategy explicitly moved away from attempting to protect civilian populations, focusing instead on ensuring the executive branch could survive a catastrophic strike to maintain order. The fear of absolute destruction created a permanent fracture in federal policy. In the event of a nuclear exchange, the government's primary institutional mandate became guaranteeing its own survival at all costs, completely separate from the fate of the public. To meet that mandate, the military excavated 700,000 tons of granite from the Colorado Rockies in the 1960s, carving out the massive interior of Cheyenne Mountain. The facility was engineered with extreme physical defenses. The 15 internal buildings sit on more than 1,000 massive steel springs, isolating the structures so they can independently absorb the massive seismic shockwaves of a direct nuclear blast. While the military blasted into granite, a quieter operation took place in West Virginia. The state buried an entire facility, codenamed Project Greek Island, beneath the luxury Greenbrier Resort to serve as a designated fallout shelter for the U.S. Congress. For 30 years, government agents maintained this site under the guise of a television repair company called Forsyth Associates, keeping food, medical care, and communications equipment ready for deployment while tourists vacationed directly above them. The success of Project Greek Island proved that the state possessed both the resources and the bureaucratic discipline to operate sprawling, deceptive survival programs right under the public's nose. When Cold War sites like the Greenbrier were eventually exposed by journalists, the government did not abandon the continuity of government program. They simply relocated operations into deeper, active black sites. One of these is Mount Weather in Virginia. Behind its highly secured perimeter lies a 600,000-square-foot underground command center operated by FEMA to manage domestic crises. Its extreme secrecy was temporarily compromised in December 1974 when TWA Flight 514 crashed into the foggy mountain directly outside the facility's fenced perimeter, drawing journalists and investigators to the classified location. Mount Weather's protocols remain strictly enforced today. During the chaos of the September 11th attacks, a fleet of helicopters rapidly evacuated congressional leadership directly to the Virginia facility. Today, these sprawling underground complexes operate as active command centers, fully staffed and waiting to assume control during a national collapse. The network includes sites like Raving Rock in Pennsylvania, a subterranean installation often called the Underground Pentagon, which serves as the hub for the military's Defense Threat Reduction Agency. This diagram maps out Presidential Policy Directive 40, the modern legal architecture that triggers the bunker network and establishes readiness conditions. Under PPD 40, every federal agency must designate essential personnel for immediate relocation into protected subterranean nodes during a crisis, explicitly prioritizing their continuity. American doomsday preparation has evolved from theoretical planning into a heavily funded, legally structured protocol. It is a system that explicitly divides the population into a select few who will be secured underground and the vast majority who will be left on the surface. When you place the verified existence of the Greenbrier bunker next to the alien folklore surrounding Denver International Airport, the line between historical fact and internet fiction begins to blur. These urban legends do not materialize out of thin air. They are a natural, collective psychological response to decades of documented, systematic deception by the state regarding its survival infrastructure. The public does not need to invent monsters lurking in the dark. The government's proven history of executing 30-year subterranean cover-ups directly breeds the paranoia that fuels modern conspiracy theories. The true psychological weight of the continuity of government protocol is the deep, lingering fear of total abandonment by the state when it is needed most. If the absolute worst happens, the most powerful people in the country have a designated, tax-funded lifeboat waiting for them, while the public is left to manage the fallout on their own. It leaves a haunting question. As billions of dollars continue to flow into maintaining and upgrading these black sites, what exactly is the catastrophic future the powerful are quietly preparing to wait out behind locked doors?